soweth, and wait for her good fruits.
Right.
For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
Yeah. So in other words, due to the amount of work that we put in, we're going to receive our reward. We're going to receive the rewards of our labor. But if you're not doing no plowing, you sit cooling in the cut. Come on, man. Like you ain't going to receive no reward for that. Well, you will receive a reward. Yeah. Fire up, square up your ass. Go on, brother. Yeah. That's what reward you're going to get. Go on, brother.
He says she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
Exactly. Yeah. You know why? Because it goes back to what this brother was reading. How the truth became a burden. You see? Because when you get into this truth, man, this wisdom enters into your mind and you start to see the world in a totally different format, man. And then that's when everything seems like it's going upside downhill. And we've all had those moments when we first came in, man. You know, our first couple of months we came into the truth, right? And still to this present moment in time, we still feel like that, but we're kind of used to it now. Right. Especially the older brothers, we're kind of used to how things are. But when we first came into the truth, man, it just felt like everything, we just couldn't deal with it, man. It was like a different feeling. Yeah. You know, it's like all of the ways of life was rising up against us. But it's really the Most High trying us to see what we were made out of, and we're still being tried right now, even to the very end. You know, but you got guys that'll come in and endure for a while because they're not strong enough to bear this wisdom. Why? Because this wisdom is likened unto a burden. That's why it says what it says. Read that again, brother.
It says she is very unpleasant to the unlearned.
She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. Yeah.
He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
Right. He that is without understanding shall not remain with her. So you're going to have a lot of guys that are coming into this truth to garner some kind of fame. And you know what? You're not going to see them no more. Or what might wind up happening is when the persecution comes, they're going to take that trip. They're going to go from being mighty Israelites of the Most High to being tripped. Because they consider not what they were involved in. Go on, brother.
And it says, she will lie upon him.
Let him finish that, yeah.
It says, she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial.
See?
And he will cast her from him where it belongs.
It became a burden. Because you're going to go through trials and tribulation when you come into the truth. You're going to be tried on your job. People are going to mess with you. Right? You're going to have spirits fucking with you while you're sleeping in your bed. Okay? Everything's going to happen. Things that you've never thought of happening are going to happen to you now. You know, you're going to experience imprisonment for teaching the word of the Lord. You know? So it's going to seem like life is going upside down for you, but it's just getting better because you're going through resistance. Right. You know, and it's like when you get into weight training, the heavier weights you lift, okay, and it really depends on how you do it. And even if you're lifting light weights, you can build muscle by lifting light weights, but the way you got to do it until your arm hurts. And once you stop doing it, right, that's when the growth comes in, because you did it until you was in pain. So in order for us to succeed and to get into the other side right, we have to go through pain. We have to suffer. We have to sacrifice. There's a price to pay when you go through this thing. You're not going to get into the kingdom putting your hand to the plow and then, I'm going to go back to the world now because this is getting a bit too hard for me, and then come back years later. No. You're not going to get in like that. You're going to get into the kingdom enduring into the end. It says, he that endureth to the end, same shall be saved. Go on, brother.
Yeah. Like, that's spiritual you said about the muscles, because when you get into the sports science behind it, when you lift those weights, the reason why you feel pain is because you've actually broken your tissue. Yeah. And then it builds back stronger each time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in the truth, you go through these situations, man. The Lord has to break you down so that next time you stand up stronger and stronger and stronger, because the Lord is molding us into those men that we need to be.
Be sharp and go on, brother. Read what you got.
This is Matthew 19 and 28, and it says, I'll start at verse 27. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration,
in the reincarnation, go on.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
And that's the reward. So in order for us to sit on thrones, beautiful thrones made with gold and got gemstones in the midst of it, You gotta you have to give all of this up. And when you really, like brothers, right? All of you brothers here, right? Consider your lives. How are you, I mean, think about it, right? Now, I know that basically we have to, I know that we all fear death and all of that other stuff. But, I mean, basically, man, I mean, according to me, man, like really realistically, you only fear life if you have something to, you have something to lose. A lot of us really don't have nothing to lose out here, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are either going through health problems. A lot of us are going through financial problems, right? And a lot of us are just suffering as the days go on. So the best thing to do, if we think about it, is to put our lives on the line for this, so that we can get into the better life.
That's right.
That's the only way. That's the only way we're gonna get the better life, because we're not living anyway. We're dead. We're already dead anyway. We're not where we want to be. We don't have the things we want. We're being exploited on media, right? We're being made fun of every single day. We're being embarrassed. We're living a life where it's just nothing's working out. So, but there's a life out there that the Lord has prepared for us, and this is going to be a life where everything is going to work out. Everything is going to be the way that you want it to be in your mind's eye, even in your heart. Everything in your heart that you've always wanted, the Most High is going to have that ready, set for you. And that's the kind of life you're going to live. Okay? Everything that you want, the Most High is going to bring it to you. And that's what the kingdom of heaven is going to be about.
Yeah, I got a quick.
But we're living a kind of life where everything is going against what we want. And that's why brothers complain about certain things that that they don't have or whatever. That's what world we're living in. We don't really have anything. So in order for us to regain all that we don't have, is that we have to lose our life for the truth. Go on, brother. Read that.
Yeah. So back in Matthew 19, this is verse 29. And everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Yeah, and that goes to the brothers that got kids too. Even the brothers that have children, I'm gonna say as well. A lot of the times, man, brothers that have kids, which brothers already know. Really, those children that you have are not yours anyway. They belong to the state. We even belong to this state. When we were born, and our parents signed the birth certificate, that was an automatic declarance on how we were slaves to the banking elite. So we don't even belong to our parents when we were born. So it's better that we give our lives, and I mean our lives in terms of the things that we have that we love so dearly. We got to give that up, and so that we can get those things more abundantly. That's the only way we're going to prosper and thrive, because we're not going to never thrive in this kingdom. Jake is always going to remain in the curses, mourning and complaining and crying and shedding tears. We want to get into a world where we don't have to do that shit no more.
That's right.
That's the world we want to get into, man. And we're not going to get into that world trying to use this truth to gather some kind of attention or fame. No, we do this because we want to. We hope for a better life, man. Because I'm sick and tired of this fucking life, man.
That's
Tell
right.
you the truth, man. Go on, bro.
This is John, straight to the point. John 14:6. Yahushua answered, I am the way and the truth and the life.
Right.
No man comes to the Father except through me.
Yeah. So the only way things are gonna go good is through Yahushua, and that's why it'd be reasonable for brothers to pray that they remain in the faith, man. Because there's nothing in this world really. Let's say you fall out the truth to pursue some goddamn career that you might not even get. But let's say you do get the career. How long are you gonna stay in that career? Because we don't got long left in the society anyway. So when you put 2 and 2 together, it's a better deal to make. It's a better investment to be in this truth and give your life away to the Lord, rather than give your life away to this world, which will destroy you. It says that this world will destroy you, right? With a soul destruction. Micah, somebody get me that.
Yeah, I was just about to do that.
May I bring out a quick precept before
Please
that?
do.
The elder Quinarth was saying, he was trying to sow discord because he was saying, are any of your elders better than you? Or any of these men in the camp better than you? He was trying to ask that question to turn brothers' minds.
But then again, like you just read, some preach with strife and envy.
That's
so
right.
he's trying to cause strife.
That's right, and this is the precept I've got for that. It says, these 6 things doth Yahweh hate, and 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, which is what he's doing, feet that be swift to run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and this is the point, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Yeah.
So Yahweh hates that.
Yeah, the Lord hates all of that. So I mean, you don't want to be that guy where you're trying to sow discord and confusion. And we know one guy that did that. Now he's pretty, and he used to do his camp videos all in the islands. Now you don't even see his behind anymore. You don't see him no more. He's just he's pretty much withered away.
Gone with the wind.
Yeah, he's MIA, missing in action.
I'm sure he's in some mountain somewhere. About 3 to 4 years old. He's gonna 3 to 4 years.
Probably
He's
will
gonna
pop back
pop
on the
back
scene.
up again, with a whole new doctrine, correcting all the elders and shit.
Go on, bro.
This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Yeah, man. And another thing too, like the scripture says, like what Paul was saying, even back then, we have no certain dwelling place. We don't have no certain dwelling place either. All we're doing is we're just here for the moment, and then the next minute, if we're the elect, we'll be in the kingdom. And that's why all of us are paying rent. Why? Because we're only just here for a moment. So we're renting, right? All of us are renting. Go on, brother.
This is Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not but ye have not enough.
This is what we're experiencing right now. Read that.
Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
Yeah.
Ye clothe you, but there is none warm.
Right.
And he earneth wages, and he that earneth wages to put in a bag with holes.
In other words, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your bills, you got to pay your this, you got to pay your that. We're subject to payments. And once you paid all of that money, you broke all over again, and it's a recycle. That's what this is going. So I want you to read that again, so that brothers can hear and see what this is saying, man. Because this is our life.
This is Haggai 1:6.
This is the life of the Israelite man and woman in the society. And guess what? It's not going to change. Okay? If Esau remains in power or we prolong in this life, we're going to remain in this situation. So this is why it's the best thing, if you really think about it, it's the best thing to do if the opportunity is there and you got to go before the guillotine, man. It's just best that you do so, because the Lord already told us what we're going to get on the other side anyway. Yeah. So therefore, there's really nothing to fear. The only thing that we can hope for is pray that the Lord give us that spirit so that we can endure those times. And I pray all the time, and Yahweh Shai gives me that spirit.
That's right.
You know the objective.
Because, like you said, we know the objective. Because it's just as simple as this, man. Like I said, we know what this life is all about. And that's a broad statement for me to say that. But we do know what this life is all about. And things are not going to, no matter how much people protest about what they want, things will always remain the same. You know why? Because if you have a group of people that are death bringers and destroyers of life, if they remain in power, the earth is going to remain destroyed and people are not going to get their just due. Therefore, people will always complain. All right? So we're not to look for any kind of hope here. The hope is in the scriptures. This is where hope is at. Go on, brother.
This is again Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little.
Right, and let's just say you take the trip. All you're doing is you're selling your soul to a society that's going to be falling apart and it's going to be nuked anyway. And then you're going to be nuked right along with those missiles.
And the chip.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you let's just say you're a brother where you gotta go before the guillotine, right? Or let's just say you take the trip. If you take the trip, the Most High is going to destroy you severely. But if you don't take the trip, you're still going to be destroyed by the nation of Esau. But guess what? You're going to get that reward in heaven. So it's best that we die knowing that we're going to get the prize that we've all desired in our hearts, rather than dying for nothing. Because when you take that trip, all you've done is you sacrifice your soul and your life for nothing. Okay? Go on, brother.
Ye eat, but ye have Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
Yeah.
Ye clothe, ye clothe you, but there is none warm.
Yeah.
And he that earneth wages to put in a bag with holes.
Right, to put in the bag with holes. And that's exactly what we're experiencing. Like, you may have a lot of money in your account, and all of a sudden, you only got like 40 quid in your account, man. Or you only got like £3 in your account. Or, certain brothers may have had a G in their account, now they got £300 and can't even barely pay the rent.
That's the spirit, because Apostle Tahar did a video a couple months ago that after the average American so-called black man and black woman pay their rent and all their bills, they're worth $5.
Yeah. That's the life we're living. So it's and this is the thing. If anything we should be fearing is the life that we're living already, because listen, man, like when you really understand the situation that Jake is in, we have no economic power. We don't even have our own stores. We don't have our own banks. We don't have anything. All we're doing is dependent on a nation that hates us. And at any given moment, he could pull the plug and say, look, we don't want you Jakes to work. We don't want you Jakes to do anything or buy in our store. So therefore, Esau has the power to starve us to death if necessary. Because we simply depend on him and we have nothing to lean back on. You understand? But that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, that's how bad it is. So when you really think about it, we should be afraid of this life versus being afraid of giving your life to the Lord. You know, think about it, man. Think about that. Go on, brother. Yeah. Because in the kingdom, we'll have more than what we don't have on this side. You talk about power. We'll have power galore, power over the nations, power over the spirits. That's power right there. So that's what we want. You know, or you got certain brothers, they can't find a woman. They're gonna have a whole yard leap of women in the kingdom. So everything that we don't have on this life, we'll have it by the abundance. And this is what's promised by the Heavenly Father, that He promised His prophets of the nation of Israel, which were the Israelites.
Scripture says, I will give you all your heart's desires.
Exactly.
You know?
And also things that we don't even think about, that we don't even know, that we haven't even seen before.
Mm-hmm.
What did Paul say? Paul says there's things that men have not heard or spoken about that I have prepared before the men of the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
Where does it say that heart desire?
I remember watching one of the brothers' camp when they read the precept, but I don't remember where. I'll have to look for it. Or somebody can search for it.
Oh, that for me, bro.
It's Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
And that goes right along with the other precept you brought out there. So that's our life. So basically what we really should be doing, man, is doing this work. That's really what we should really be using this life for, doing the Lord's work. Because there's no time to rest. We're not in the time to celebrate. Like you got Jakes going on carnival and trying to celebrate in their captivity. You only celebrate something when you fulfill your purpose or you've accomplished something great. All right, or when you're living good. But when you're living in squalor, man, come on, man, it's time to do some kind of work to get out of that. You know what I mean? We're not in the time to be playing games and trying to, you know, get gallon and all of these things, man. We don't need to be doing all of that. What we need to be doing is doing this work so we can get the frig out of this stupid condition that we're in. Okay? That's why we supposed to be doing this work. Not trying to garner some fame, Shalom, and trying to promote the camp. Shalom, brother. All of this nonsense, man. And got women typing on common boards when he really just needs to be quiet, man.
Yeah.
Great video.
Can I just mention
got
that?
all kind of using stuff like that. Go on, bro.
Yeah, because Apostle Gabar done a video, a Ramla, but there's a brother, GMS Carolina, South Carolina, 07. But he's good with the live streams. Yeah, good with that. But basically he hinted that Apostle Tahar was on his live stream under another alias, and he said, and you have to read between the lines, and he said, boy, if I'd have known it was him, Apostle Gabar was on my live stream as another alias. He said, boy, I made a mistake, man, you know, because Apostle Gabar said he wants to be able to do that without being called, you know, big up and all that. He just wants to be under the low key. But he said, in other words, he said, I have to be careful now how I treat some of the man them, you know. But now he's been told, and he said he took it on the chin not to just block the women them. They let them say shalom, and that's it, and block them when they come with any future future. Just block them.
Yeah, and then another thing too, I saw and this is what made me kind of frustrated, man, because you know the brothers and the apostles and the elders have already got on certain women. Not to teach the word, and you got another woman that I found teaching the word. You get me? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sit down on that as well.
Like even one time on the Apostles live stream, I had to rebuke one of these women because she was posting up precepts on the thing. And I just posted the precept in 2 Timothy where it says thus suffer not a woman to teach. when she got proud, just started posting up precepts. I mean, look, just be quiet.
Just fall back, man. Fall back.
Yeah.
This is not your fight. The Lord, the Most High called the men to do the work. The Lord didn't call no women to come out here. If you read about Salakia, brother Salakia, when you read about the disciples, right? How many disciples were there? There were 12 disciples. Name me one disciple that was a woman in there. You're not gonna find one. And name me one prophet that you read about in the scriptures that stood out in the middle of nowhere and prophesying to the people. You're not gonna find a woman doing that. Okay, now you may have heard of prophetess or read about a prophetess, but what did the prophetess do? What she did was, is if she had a vision, she would go tell her husband, and then her husband would reveal it to whoever he surrounds himself with. That's what they would do. They wouldn't stand out here and preach or do sit downs and just, you know, get their phones and put the camera to their face so they can be seen, and then do the sit down. Go on, bro.
There was in the scriptures there was a woman, I forget her name. She lived in was it Ephesus, and she had a big possession, and she did purple linen.
Yeah.
I did a video on it, and the church in Ephesus was based at her house.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But see, that's a righteous thing.
I forget her name.
It was
Yeah.
Lydia.
Lydia.
Yeah, and the church was based at her house, and a lot of that bishops and that were in her house, and she didn't take any top position. She understood that was their position,
Right.
even though it was her house.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
because she was a wealthy woman, an Israelite woman, and her profession was in purple linen and shit. So she knew, she had links, connections, you know, travelers, tradesmen, and everything like that. You know, she was a businesswoman, so she had money. She helped out the men of the Lord and allowed them to do their ministry at the house, to base their base at her house. You know what I'm saying? So you had women in the truth, but they knew their place.
Right.
They knew their position.
Right.
They knew their position wasn't to be teaching or nothing like that,
Right.
but to provide and to support and to aid
Right.
the men of
That
Yahweh
was doing the work.
Shai.
Exactly. And that's a righteous thing, because, you know, we know that we got righteous women amongst us. We know this, man. But you just got the women that are really, you know, full of SHIT, right along with certain Israelite men that's in this truth. And they post some comments, they doing sit downs now because some other women they saw doing sit down, and it's ridiculous, man.
But I say this because I'm in contact with one sister, and the one that you saw when we was in
Brixton.
Yeah, and she does a lot of talking, because she calls me up sometimes to have a talk, because she doesn't have no one else to talk to you about this truth.
That's
So she calls me up and we talk sometimes, and we trouble. And sometimes she talks a lot.
Wow,
you know
wow.
what I'm saying? But I get it because she's sincere.
Yeah.
She's sincere, even though she talks a lot and talks about the Lord and stuff. I let her talk, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have some women that, even though they're on the convo talking, bring out these scriptures, they're sincere with it. Even though
Right.
they're not trying to be demons. They're just you know,
They're
got a lot. They're zealous.
Yeah.
You
They're
know what I'm saying?
passionate about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Got a precept?
Yeah, go on, bro.
This is our
Yeah,
first.
who was reading?
Just want to
I'll
just
suck
a
his
quick
one.
one.
Okay, go on.
Talking about women and teaching. So Job 39:17 says, because Yahweh hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. Hence the reason why there's no female prophets, man, and teachers.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I'm gonna just bluntly just say this out loud, man. You know, and I say this because I'm a bit frustrated, right? But even if I'm not frustrated, I'm gonna say it anyway, right? You know, all of you women that's posting comments on the comment board and doing sit downs, just shut the fuck up, man.
That's right.
You know, that's all I gotta say. Just shut the hell up, shut the F up, fall back, and know your place, man. But to the sisters that know their place, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that want to do their own thing. They need to fall back and shut the fuck up. Point blank.
Because
Simple.
a lot of women in the world, some women are good looking, you know, got pretty face,
And they got men too. They could have men. Some of them.
got tits and ass. She looks good when she's all done up and stuff. So in the world, they're treated with a certain attitude, like certain admiration. You know, maybe she has a good job, respect. She got a house, maybe. You know, a lot of women get that in this side of the world, in this kingdom. But a lot of the time now, when they come to the truth, they agree that's the truth, man. But then they find it hard to step down, man. To step down and lower them and humble themselves, man.
Yeah.
Get back in their place.
Is that
It's
pride?
like,
Is that elevation that they used to have in.
Yeah.
They find it hard to, yeah, it's true.
It's like, yeah, and that ultimately that's witchcraft. But the scriptures say that there's no divination against Israel, no enchantment against Jacob.
Right.
It's that feminism though. Is that demon pride? Is that feminism? In
Yeah,
you?
plus there's simps out there that are worshipping these women as well.
Right. Shalom,
Yeah, you know
sister.
what it is, yeah?
Baiting more simps, man.
I like what you said, sister. That was
I've-
bad, sister. And she
Come
wouldn't talk
from a
about that.
woman.
I've come across like a woman has commented on YouTube, right? You click on a video, she only got a picture of herself on the avatar there.
That's it, yeah.
She got no videos or nothing, and the bitch you have like fucking 70, 80 likes,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
subscribers and all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, man, okay, why are all these guys subscribed to her channel, man, with no content at all?
Right.
There's nothing on there, just her picture there, man.
Yeah.
And then you go, all these subscribers, man.
Yeah, there's niggas on the subscribers wanting to buy her nude vids.
You know?
Yeah, you got some real. It's different. They're actually out there. They're out
Yeah.
there. There's simps out there, man.
And it's a lot of them too. It's not some of them. It's a lot of
Straight,
men
you
have
know?
become servants for women these days, man.
Straight in her inbox, man. I'll teach you, sister. I'll teach you, okay?
It's bad, man. It's terrible.
Them women in the truth, man, they're the worst. It's better to get a regular woman that don't know anything about this truth, man. It's those
Yeah.
in the truth women that are the worst
Yeah.
demons, man.
That's me, man. That's me, man.
I've had a woman that's so called in the truth, man, and she starts shouting at you and telling you you're wrong.
And breaking it, and she break the
Yeah.
scriptures down to you too. She's
No,
telling you
baby.
going off.
How do you know God is not dealing with me as well?
And that's that Miriam spirit though.
Yeah.
Because Miriam,
Yeah,
she her and Aaron, see Aaron, man.
Oh, yeah, right.
He was easily led, man.
It was
Because
simple,
there's
yeah.
a couple times where he just followed what people said. So Miriam was like, yo, but God spoke through us, not only Moses.
Right.
And then straight away the Lord came down at the gate of the tabernacle, man, and said, yo, look, if I'm gonna have a prophet, I'll speak to him in a dream,
right.
man. But my servant Moses is not so.
Yeah.
Him will I speak to apparently mouth to mouth, man.
Right.
Then as soon as the Lord left, she was leprous, man.
It's that Eve spirit. That Eve spirit.
Yeah.
The serpent came to Miriam. The serpent came to Miriam.
And speaking about the serpent, because really what it is, they're so used to being on a pedestal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
it.
now when they come into the truth, now they have to submit and come under the rule of men.
Yep.
That they can't do that because the same men that they're coming under rulership under were the same men that were simple for their asses all this time.
Yeah.
Because even in the churches, man, you see that the women are the one. Because the women, most churches, when you have your male pastor, a majority of the times when you find it's the women that sort of take over all these
Yeah.
positions of control.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yes.
elders and the organizers and whatever.
The praise
And I-
team.
Yeah, and I've seen it before, man. You know, the men just following them, man. Just
Yeah.
you know.
And the elders are weak to the women.
Yeah.
And they become evangelists.
I saw that.
prophetists.
You know?
Yeah, I saw that in Christianity too, man.
Nonsense, man.
You know.
They have their church meetings. It's always the women that's always talking and shit. The men are just there.
Who is holding which scripture longer?
I believe
Wait,
that.
I'll go something. I'll go
Just one
something.
more thing, and the thing is about Jake as well, because Jake's fault is weak, man. He'll do anything, and I'm gonna say it straight up. He'll do anything to get pussy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Oh, yeah.
anything.
The end all. Let me tell you something about Jake, man. The end all be all to Jake is just getting some punani,
Get some
man.
ass, man.
That's the really the core of life.
And this woman,
Is to get some punani, man.
the reason a lot of them are putting that their photos on the avatar
Yes.
there, man, because they understand that the men are gonna flock to them now.
Yes.
Man. They understand that she goes checking her inbox, man, she'll find 4 or 5 niggas, man, trying to teach her and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
it's
sister,
like
I got
a whole
this.
social media on YouTube now, man.
I ain't trying to be too carnal, man, but have you ever noticed it's like it's always the woman that's so called in the truth. They're the ugliest, man. I can't lie.
Cherry
love.
It's true. It's true. The
always
ones in the
ugliest,
church, the ones that come.
They are. Let's keep it real.
I got something. I got a little piece of real quick.
But even the ones that ain't in the truth, they still ugly because that's what it goes back to is the curses of we're gonna get to the scripture, brother, right? I just want to make a point. When you read Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 3, right, where it talks about the curse of the daughters of Zion. They in the last days it's gonna happen to them. All right, they're not gonna have the full hair on their head. They're gonna be wearing weaves and all kind of, extensions and stuff like that, right? And they're gonna pour all this makeup on their face to hide their ugliness, and that's why a lot of them they don't believe in natural beauty, which they're correct because they're not naturally beautiful, which is the truth. It's the truth. Go on, brother.
Have a stink.
Yeah,
This is
and then you gotta deal with that too. Go on, bro.
This is Luke 11 verse 27. And it came to pass as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, Blessed is the womb that bare thee,
Yeah,
and the
that
paps
mother,
without
what
has
is it?
sucked.
Yeah.
But he said, yea, rather blessed are they that hear the word of the Most High and
Yeah.
keep it.
That Queen of Heaven spirit.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
woman worshiping spirit. And that's what spirit that men are under right now. They're under that Queen of Heaven spirit.
That's a
Without
cut to
even
the Catholic
realizing
Church right there, man.
That's that feminism reason back there 2,000 years
2,000
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
Blessed is the woman.
That birthing queen.
But that's the thing, so like that's the how Jay Khan, man. Like you have like, I don't know, like an Israelite guy, yeah, even Nigerian, Jamaican, whatever, man. They'll go to university, they'll get the degree, and who are they praising? The mum.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
you did such a good job. Yeah, you did such a good job. Really, you're not even saying well done to the guy.
Right.
You're saying well done to the mum. It's all
yeah.
about praising the woman, man.
Right. My
It's
mama,
like,
my
yeah,
mama, my mama.
And you get these simple ass Negroes that when it comes to Father's Day, they say, "Oh, thanks, my mum.
You're for being a father and a
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah, yes, that shit.
Say that again. I didn't get
You
that.
get these jakes that say when it comes to Father's Day, they'll say, "Oh, I want to thank my mum for being a great father figure and a mother at the same time." Like jakes actually say that, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a dear mama spirit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Again, the Queen of Heaven spirit. But it does say in the scriptures that the Lord will create a new thing on the earth, and women shall rule over them. You know, so that's what's happening to Israel, man. Oh yeah, it says they that cause thee the air. It says right, they that lead thee cause thee the air. So who's causing the people of Israel the air? The women. Because really, when you understand something, the family structure of Jake, the ones that are the head of the family are the women, so to
Yeah.
speak. That's how it is in the household of Israel. You know, and then you have to respect your mothers, you have to respect your aunts, you have to respect all of the females in your household.
That's why
Your
it's so,
sister.
it's okay.
Yep, go on.
That's why it's so difficult for them to humble, man.
Yeah.
Because of that
That
whole
too.
culture, man.
Yep.
The whole women alleviation culture.
Yeah.
You know, they ain't gonna humble themselves to you and build. That's just gonna be an act. They can't even do that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're right about that because they've been conditioned by all the other men in their family,
Yes.
elevating them. And then
Yes.
even strange men that'll walk up to them and say, "Hey, sister," you know, they get
Yeah.
a lot of attention. Like when you go on these dating apps, and I can kind of see why these certain sisters they just can't get right because they've been conditioned
Yeah.
to believe that they're better than the men.
It's not even their fault.
And it's not even, you really can't blame them because it really goes back to Esau, really, when you check it. Goes back to Esau. Esau pretty much put Eve on the pedestal, and because she's in the pedestal now it's to the point where she don't know how to humble down because she's expecting men to flock to her and give her all of this attention.
Can I say?
But now in the truth, it's all about the men now. It's not about the women, it's about the men now. So it's like a whole different
Right, it's a different
okay.
vibration. It's a different vibration.
Yeah.
Because what happened was that the Most High punished Eve by giving her great child pains
Yeah.
and stuff, and said you're gonna serve your husband
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So the Most High punished Eve for what she did.
Right.
But now what Esau's doing the opposite. Esau's rewarding her and saying,
Yes.
"Oh, yeah, you can defy the Most High. That's fine."
Yeah.
And he puts her on a level.
A higher
So
pedestal.
that's part of the agenda is to go against anything that the Most High is his word. Go
Yep.
anything against it. The Most High said, "You as a woman, you got child pain." Esau puts the woman on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's part of the agenda.
Yeah, and you know what, too, brothers. I mean, we could talk, but we gotta let the scripture speak
Right.
as well.
This is
The brothers gotta bring out the precepts. Go on.
This is 1 Timothy 2:11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Yeah.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man,
Yeah, man.
but
So-
to be in silence.
Yeah, so I mean, a woman that really believes in this thing, she's gonna be in the back burner. She's not gonna talk. She's not gonna say shalom. I mean, she may say shalom, you know, a few words there and there. Keep it simple, but she's in the back. You know, doing what she can do to the best of her ability. You know what I mean? But as I'm gonna say is this, because you do have Israelite men that are full of shit. So you will have Israelite women that are gonna be more so, being that they're the weaker vessel.
Yep.
You know, but to the women that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, you know, we're not getting on y'all. We getting on these harlots that are pretending to be holy women and virgins, and they want to do what they want to do. The Most High's going to destroy them.
Precept.
Okay, the Most High got something cooking for them. Go on, brother. Read that.
Yeah, this is Luke chapter 1.